am MooMooAkai, and joining me today is the wonderful Squega.
Hello, everyone.
And if you are unfamiliar with Cadence of Hyrule, this is, if you know Crypt of the Necrodancer, maybe you've heard of that, but this is a mashup of those two games. It's essentially a rhythm-based dungeon game, and it's a roguelike. So you can see me moving around right now. I've actually just cleared this tile. Poor Kaku. There are no enemies on this screen, so this is a tranquil state of the game, and this essentially allows me to move however I like. And this will happen every now and then, but you can see that I have very boxy movement. I can only move in the 4 directions right now, for the most part. And the way you attack is by attempting to move on an enemy's square. You can see that I have 4 items in the top right corner, bound to each button, and then I have my 2 spells, Din's Fire and Nehru's Love. And although Link, Zelda, and Cadence are in this game, there's a reason. That's the reason why I'm playing as Zelda. Her spells are way, way better. A couple other things to note. In order to beat this game, I have to get these 4 instruments, one from each boss. I have to go and then wake up Link and go through Hyrule Castle and defeat Ganon. So those are the main objectives of the game. This is what the map looks like right now, and this is not what it's going to look like in a second because this is a roguelike, so everything's going to be in completely different spots. I won't know where anything is, and I'll have to figure that out all out on the fly. But this is what the rhythm mechanic looks like. So you can see I can only move on the beat. This game has an amazing soundtrack, so definitely enjoy all of it that you can. You can see all the enemies are also moving to the beat. All enemies behave the same way, so even if I don't know what enemies are going to be there, I know what they'll do. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and get into a new file. Everything else will be explained during the run.
All right, sounds good. So yeah, we're going to get to more details here as we go in. So as Moo mentioned, the Neighbor's Love and Din's Fire are 2 of the big reasons why we run Zelda. This is story mode, and you can play either of the 3 characters. You actually get a choice in the beginning. And we choose Zelda because she is very strong. And we're going to see that in just a minute here, too.
I don't know if anyone heard that, but my house briefly exploded. So I just had to make sure everything was a-okay. Anyway, time starts on selecting the character in a new file. Files are all randomly seeded, so I actually really won't know what's going to go on. And you can see right now I have the choice between Link and Zelda. So 3, 2, 1, go!
There we go. So Moo also mentioned that, yes, the overworld map is randomized. They are the same general screens, but they're rearranged. But there are some places that are generally the same, that we could trust to be generally in the same spot. So Hyrule Castle is generally always in the middle of the map. And then we're looking for 4 big objectives. We just get Neighbor's Love there. 4 big objectives. We're looking for 4 dungeons. We're looking for the Grotto, which is Lake Hylia, which is directly south of Hyrule Castle every time. We're looking for the Lost Woods, and we're also looking for Gerudo Ruins and Death Mountain. So we're going to be, the main path or routing for this run is to find each dungeon as efficiently as possible, as quickly as possible, touch the Sheikah Stones, which allow us to warp to these spots. And we need to also collect a couple of items as we go along the way as well. So we found Kakariko Village as one of the destinations we need to get to.
Nice Ring of Courage.
Ooh, very nice. Yes, Ring of Courage is great because, like the its namesake in Crypt of the Necrodancer, when you kill an enemy while wearing the ring, you move forward. So you actually go really fast. If you kill things very quickly, you can very quickly get to a dungeon.
It's a Chemos.
Hey, Chemos. So one of the most important elements in this game, for at least for the story mode, 80% is finding keys. We want to find a grand total of 7 keys. We need to use 1 key for each dungeon, and we want to have 3 keys for the final dungeon, the final official dungeon, which is Hyrule Castle. And then that way we already have the keys. Normally you can get keys by clearing out a key room inside of a dungeon, but we don't want to do that as much as possible because it's very slow. It can be very slow, especially at the end of the game. So we are in front of Hyrule Castle, and Moo is going to be clearing out the front of the castle. It's going to turn this whole section into fixed speed mode, and that is a lot faster to go through than having to come back in and repeat the whole area in beat mode. If that even makes sense.
Ah, dang. Nothing good in the Cadence Cave. All right. I was hoping that I saw a swamp at the beginning, but it was Kakariko, which is still fine. I'm just going to try and look for Kakariko, or there's the desert.
Yeah. So even once again, what's in here? Ooh, very nice. Torch of Wisdom. Very nice to have. Torch of Wisdom allows you to see inside of chests. So we pass by, you can actually see what's in the chest. There's another Torch of Wisdom right there.
I should have just gotten that one, but oh well.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So, and once again, even though we don't know, the overall map is rearranged to an extent, we generally know that you will always see the Lost Woods and the desert on one side of the map, and Kakariko on the opposite side. So you can always trust them to be on one side. Death Mountain will always typically be on the north of the map. Either it could be northwest or northeast of Hyrule Castle. So in this case, it is northwest-ish. And we also have, looks like the Lost Woods and the desert on the left side of the map as well. It looks like we're going to go for a touch on Death Mountain. So, at least the Temple of Storms.
All right, so we have... I'm at the valley. I'm at Gerudo Valley right now.
Yeah, Gerudo Village.
Did you already touch on the Cadence Caves?
Oh, no, we have not yet. Yeah, haven't done that yet. So, well, first off, we're going to get one of the most essential items for the run, which is the Power Glove. And we have a musical puzzle, and the notes are rearranged every time. They're a random order, but the notes are always the same color. So if you memorize the color sequence, you could do it guaranteed. So yeah, we're looking for Cadence Caves in the beginning here, and that's very important because Cadence is in these caves, and she gives us essential items that we need. The first item that we get is the loot. The loot is very essential for the run because it allows us to warp back to a Sheikah Stone that we have touched. So it's a good way for fast travel. And so there's the loot right there.
I just wanted to leave it there for a second.
yeah. To think on it. I don't know if I need it. And then the other other item that we're going to get in the Cadence Cave is Din's Fire. And Din's Fire is the fireball ability you saw MooMooAkai demonstrate earlier, and that allows us to cast a very powerful fireball, and it's used for a few quick kills on the run as well.
I normally wouldn't get this dagger if this were the layout, but for safety, I'm grabbing the dagger because doing 1 damage, which is what we start out with, is really bad.
Yeah, so we grabbed the titanium dagger, and another thing about story mode is that certain items are always in certain screens, certain tiles. So in the desert near Gerudo, there will always be a titanium dagger in story mode, and that's guaranteed, and it's a good safety item to get, so you always have 2 damage.
Some bomb duping.
Yep, a little bit of bomb duping. So this is Lake Hylia, and we have to kill off this ghost. And the ghost is the one to kill is the one that does not have a shadow. So you can actually shoot an arrow at it or chuck a bomb at it, and it'll trigger the fight. Okay. And so with that, we found just about everything. We're just gonna go.
I'm going to the Lost Woods, and then I'll go and wake up Link. So now would be a good time. Go ahead and plug Save the Children.
Absolutely. Let me pull up that thing. So, Save the Children is the world's leading independent organization for children. Their vision is a world in which every child attains the right to survival, protection, development, and participation. Their mission is to inspire breakthroughs in the way the world treats children and to achieve immediate and lasting change in their lives. So yeah, actually, it's a really good cause. I do. Yeah, really good cause. I love marathons like this, so where we can kind of have a chance to help people, and in this case children, which is really good. So back to the run, we found the Lost Woods, so we're going to touch just this Sheikah Stone, and this is a Cadence Cave coming up, and inside of here will be Din's Fire.
So I didn't find, let me actually look at the map and study it for a second. I'm hoping to find the bomb shop on the map. I see it, cool. It's actually not too far.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I grab certain. Ooh, nice. There's money. There's a rapier. Yeah, there's a bunch of good things in Kakariko
Nice.
Crypts.
This is a really good, very good Kakariko. So Kakariko Crypt, what we have to do is we have to get to the end, and we'll fight. I guess kind of like a dark clone Link, and we get a hibiscus potion, and so we get the drug Link awake, if that even makes sense.
It's time for Link's awakening.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of a pun. They're kind of intentional too. So we're gonna do a key room here, the very first one we'll see in the run, and you clear the room. And once you clear the room, you get a chest to open up, and there's a key inside. And so every time you clear a dungeon, the enemies get harder. You get to fight harder versions of each enemy. So the further you get in the game, the less you want to clear these rooms, because it takes way longer. The enemies have more health, and there's more of them. So we're going to definitely work on that. So Moomoo's going to kill off the shopkeep here. Sorry, Freddy. The reason why... Sorry, Freddy. He drops a coupon. And a coupon allows you to get a free shop. And what that means is that the first time you pick up is free. The trade-off is that the first time... Like, if you go to another Freddy shop and use the coupon on an item, he'll attack you. So that's the trade-off.
Yeah, he'll be like, hey, where'd you get that?
Like, wait a minute, I gotta murder you. But the Goron shop doesn't. The guy doesn't care. The guy in the Goron shop doesn't care about it. You get a freebie, and it's all good. Because normally the Goron charm is 200 rupees, and that's a lot of money to raise in the beginning. And the reason why the Goron charm is essential for the run is that in Gerudo, you have to cross lava to get a quick skip to the second floor of that dungeon. And the Goron charm allows you to swim in lava and not take damage from hot coals and everything. It's very essential.
I'm going to head over to the Goron shop before I spend this coupon accidentally somewhere else. And then I'll actually be able to essentially start doing out the rest of the dungeons. But yeah. I briefly upgraded my... I picked up a base rapier when I was in Kakariko. And the base rapier is okay as a weapon. So like, there's all kind of different weapons in this game. The rapier's specific benefit is that it has a range of 2. Ooh, nice. But
the rapier also does
lunge
damage. That does like 2-3, I think, right?
Yeah, it's only 1 additional, which always throws me off.
And so so that room you saw behind Hyrule Castle is guaranteed to get there. You have to have the flippers to get there. So you swim behind there, and you get a free infuse. In this case, we picked titanium. As Moomoo mentioned, on a rapier, you get 2 damage up close, and then 3 damage on a lunge. And that actually worked out really well because getting a rapier is the fastest weapon in the game in general. So you want to have that as early as possible. We were very lucky to find it on the in a random chest, because otherwise what we would have to rely on boss flawless chests, which can also be a bit of a pain because that's RNG heavy as well. And so we're also going for a skip here in Death Mountain. Normally you would have to do a gigantic screen to open up a bridge, again cross it, and deal with a whole bunch of enemies, but we're able to skip that entire sequence and get straight to the entrance here. We also woke up Link.
It's time for Lonk. I'm helping.
This is the only time Lonk is helpful in the entire run. It's to hurt him twice.
Bless him.
And yes. And now Lonk has been woken up, and we're going to get the heart here. And we're going to bring Zelda in, and we'll never see Link again until the end.
We might not even see him. It depends. We might just leave him sleeping. So,
that's true.
Yeah, here we are. This is the first actual dungeon, really.
Yeah, and what you saw was a skip for the first floor. So every dungeon typically has 2 floors, and the general any percent routing is to allows us to skip every floor. And on every second floor, there's always a key in the Freddy shop, always a Freddy key. So or a key in the Freddy shop, and so we can rely on buying one of those as a way to get the total of 7 keys that we needed for the run. So now we have 2. We're going to spend 1 on this floor to get to the mini boss on this floor, and so in general, by the end we should have 3. The 3 guarantee for Hyrule Castle. Say goodbye to the mini boss. Goodbye, Dark Nut. And at the end of every second floor, there's always a boss key, obviously, to open up the boss. But there's always a heart piece, and the heart piece gives you a piece of heart. Get 4 of them, you get a heart. But it also gives you a full heal. And now on to the boss here, Glockenspiel. Very fun boss. Also very difficult to fight, honestly. It's
okay.
Did you get
I did flawless.
Nice.
Yeah, I had to think about it because I didn't want to mess up the flawless.
Yeah, so when you flawless the boss, you get a choice of 3 chests. You get the obviously a blue, a red, and I believe a purple. I'm trying to remember right now. And the blue is a guaranteed weapon. Red is either rupees or a random item.
And then you get the diamonds.
Oh, you get diamonds. That's right, diamonds. Yeah. So. And now we just did a first floor skip for the grotto, and as you see there, it's just a that's where the power gloves come in for that skip. the ooh, very nice. There's a key in there too.
Trying to
get
it to it.
Yeah, eventually. The key, so you can find keys in walls, in this case, inside of a block of ice. So that's actually a really huge bonus.
Oh yeah, I do have the hookshot. I don't have a bow and arrow, but the hookshot's really important.
Yes, it is. Hookshot is also good for skips. Allows you to go very fast in the overworld. And so, yeah, we're a key ahead. It's very nice.
I think if I get this key, yeah, I'll only need to get one from Gerudo, and that'll be it.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're pretty good there. So, just to reiterate, to cover what I was mentioning about the skip with the glove. If you tap the glove on a block of ice while slipping, you grab that block of ice and you stop slipping. So it allows us to skip that first floor, and now we're already at the end of the second floor.
No Ronkley skip today. We got the fast room. So there's two different ice puzzle rooms, and that one is just there's no enemies in it. Blake, and you'll miss it. This is the Wizrobo quick kill.
Oh, this is a great kill. So we'll never actually see Wizrobo. Well, maybe.
Love you, Wizrobo.
And rip.
There's a strange damage calculation. Essentially, bombs only do 3 damage, but for some reason, if you line up a bomb chew with a regular bomb at the same time, it doubles the amount of damage that Wizrobo takes for some reason.
Yeah, and then bombs also damage in a radius, so they start from the top left corner and they move in a clockwise formation. So yeah, that's so the damage winds up like one bomb triggers the other and it doubles the damage. It's pretty funny. So you just saw the first floor skip for the grotto, and that skip was actually just to get the Goron locket, and you have the flippers and you just jump in the lava and go for a swim.
All right, I see. I'm gonna grab this key real quick, and then I'm gonna head straight for the boss room because that's way faster than doing the little mini room. But yeah, that'll be it for keys.
I think so. Well, we need one more key for the swamp, I think, right?
No, because I have the hookshot.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, that's excellent. Yes.
So there have been skips for the first floor of every dungeon. But because I have the hookshot, I actually have a very rare skip that you can do. I mean, you don't always get the hookshot, so it's nice when you do. But you can skip both floors of the swamp dungeon.
Yeah, and there used to be an easier skip. For most dungeons, there used to be 2 different skips, but for both floors. But a lot of them got patched out. So this is Guitar Mose, base Guitar Mose, and the objective of this fight is to kill the mini Guitar Moses. I don't know what to call them, and then you fight the main guy. And with the Goron Locket, it's way easier because they drop hot coals when you damage them or when they attack, and you no damage from hot coals when you're standing on them with the Goron Locket. And that is 2 rapiers in a row from the Flawless chest. I just noticed.
That's really funny because I was struggling. I got multiple spears repeatedly last time I was trying to find one.
That's kind of funny. I like that. So now we're in the Lost Woods. We're going to go we're in the swamp. So we're going to go to the Lost Woods dungeon. And normally you would have to wake up Tingle, and he would give you a detector to find out what side to go on. But there's actually a speedrun strat for it where it's whichever enemy has the most health, I guess the hardest enemy, whatever side they appear on is the side that you can enter in. So right here you have the Dogos, and right there was just the entrance. Here was another straight up, going straight north here.
Shout out to Climax.
Yeah, and then we have the Sheikah Stone. Thankfully, we have. Oh, here comes the skip too with the hookshot. It's really nice.
So the way this works is the hookshot calculates where you're supposed to be. Oh, I do have a pivot item. Nice. Oh. I screwed that up because the way the Pegasus Anklet works is slightly different. So I'll have to do it. I'd rather not screw that up again, so I'm going to just do it without. I'm going to do 2 bombs, which is a little bit more painful, but I'll be fine.
Yeah, we have enough bombs for that.
I have a little more. We have enough health for that.
Yeah, right. we should. All right, yeah, this is actually kind of a rare skip. It's nice to see. It's kind of a treat.
1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay.
There we go. Yeah. So a lot of this game gets broken when you do diagonal strats. So you can use bombs to move diagonally, and thankfully we just skipped 2 floors of this dungeon, which has great music, and I recommend you guys play it to listen to the music. But we're not going to hear a whole lot of it this time.
I have to be really careful now because my health is super low. Luckily,
it's gonna be...
I have a glass broadsword, which makes this fight a lot easier.
Oh yeah, way easier. So here's Gomarakas, and this fight is way easier with a glass broadsword. And that broadsword allows us to... We don't have to stand in front of the eyeball in order to hurt it. So we can actually stand just offset, and we swipe the eyeball. And now we're in phase 2. Gomarakas is just a little bit faster, and he's dead. So that is the whole Gomarakas fight. Thank you for watching, and we'll move on. Now we have all the instruments, and we have everything we need to get into Hyrule Castle and get to the end of the game.
Yeah, so these last two areas are a lot more reminiscent of regular Crypt of the Necrodancer because we're doing multiple floors in a row. So my ability to navigate without a map is going to be important. There are some clues. If I see fencing, I'll know that the boss key or the boss room is around.
And on the third floor of Hyrule Castle, we'll also see a Necrodancer cardboard cutout next to the boss entrance. So that's another giveaway as well.
I haven't seen them all run.
Floaties are really nice to have. So floaties used to be the original meta to be able to get skips in this game, but they're still really good for a ton of skips because they allow us to like go over gaps, and if you get knocked into a cliff, you're fine. So we already talked about Nehru's Love a couple of times, but the reason why Nehru's Love, and that's kind of like a demonstration you've seen a few times throughout this run, the reason why it's so strong is that when you fire Nehru's Love, you not only are protected from any damage that you take during the duration of Nehru's Love, it also reflects that damage back at the enemy that shot it at you. So we use it very strategically here to, like this boss right now, this mini boss. It took 3 damage by using Nehru's Love when it attacked. So it's really powerful to have. And it's the reason why Zelda is the de facto character for story mode. And there's the cardboard cutout for Necrodancer, and here is the final mini boss. And those floaties are so helpful right now.
Yeah, I pick them up if I see them late game even, because they're still very useful. Now I have a damage up, and I do have glass weapons, so we'll actually be getting to see Link again.
Oh, nice. So now we're on to the final boss, which is Octavo. And Octavo is the one behind all of the mini bosses, and we get to fight him. So this is a 5-phase fight, and the first 4 phases are themed after the bosses that we fought in each of the temples. So here is Glockenspiel, and we get to fight. Oh, this is really nice setup here. And so we're going to use Link and his spin attack in order to do extra damage. So the spin attack on Link does 1 extra damage on top of whatever weapon damage you do. So the first 4 phases, Octavo has 5 health, and the final phase he has 6 health. And ooh, that's unfortunate.
Have backups.
So the unfortunate thing about glass weapons is that it turns out glass breaks when you hit it. So who would have thought? And so that's the downside. Glass weapons do a lot of damage, but they break when you take a hit. Oh yeah, use the bomb shoot strategy. Very nice. And now we're on the final phase, where Octavo has 6 health.
Ah!
Oh.
Thanks.
Oh man,
thanks for the help, Octavo.
Yeah, it's so many bosses spawn this fight, especially in the last phase, and it gets a little chaotic very quickly. There we go. End of Octavo. But wait a minute, there's more to the game? Huh?
Yeah, we gotta go to the future and stop Ganon. It does.
Gotta go back.
It's
back
completely.
To the future.
It's completely relevant.
Oh, you spoiled the game. Yeah, I didn't know Ganon was at the end of a Zelda game. Jeez. But yes, we're in the Dark World here. We do warp to that. We actually get to find out a little bit more about the game. Turns out Octavo is not the final boss. Who would have thought? And we go to the Dark World, and the music is so good. I recommend you guys just listen to it and chill. Ooh. All right. Boots of Power give you +1 damage. Very good for Dark World right now. We're fighting the hardest version of every enemy in Dark World. And you could die very quickly if you're not careful. And so Dark World is 4 levels in total. And typically you can find, like, there's always a mini boss at the end. As you can see here, we're finding kind of power versions of each. And, ooh, yeah. Damage there. It's very crunchy right now. So, and typically you can, if you find a good Dark World layout is where the mini boss is at the right next to the entrance of where you were. But we have to kind of fight our way through to find the mini boss around here.
Yeah, we're fine. It's a good thing that we got the Goron charm earlier.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because there's still plenty of lava around for it to be relevant.
Lots of lava. Ooh, all the hits, but that's fine.
Oh, it's a Lionel. Okay.
Lionels are easy. So yeah, this will be the last mini boss for actually the last 4.
Yeah, so hopefully now all I have left to worry about is Ganon skip. I'm going to be trying for it. If not, I'll just have to kill the boss the normal way. But if it's possible to do, I'm going to be skipping 2 of the phases here. It just requires a little bit of luck.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to explain the Ganon fight quickly here. So you see Link and Cadence are frozen, and the way you're supposed to do it is it has 3 phases in total, and you have to use either Cadence or Link, or even both, or all 3, to knock Ganon's shield off of him and then do a hit. Did you? Oh, dang, no. Okay. Sorry, I had to pause there.
Way too many sarcophaguses right now.
Yeah, way too many enemies. So you have to knock out the Ganon shield and have another enemy, one of the characters hit Ganon for 1 damage. There are bomb skips where you can use just a single character in order to damage Ganon, where you can actually knock the shield off and use a bomb to hit Ganon for 2 health. But right now we have all 3 enemies out for this, or all 3 characters out for this fight, and it's a little chaotic. So the thing about this fight is that mini bosses are absolutely everywhere in this fight, and we're getting some really bad spawns.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in phase 3. So yeah, phase 3. Thankfully, we're toward the end here, and we got a full health. And so you have to get each character and unlock them or unfreeze them, and then get them on the Triforce. And can we do it?
Got it. The beam.
The beam. All right. GG. That was a really good run. That fight though was kind of.
Oh, the fight got away from me for sure. It's really hard to get the quick kill because it's completely random, like where he jumps to the first time, what enemies spawn. So if you can do it, you essentially it looks like you're deleting Ganon.
Yeah. I also forgot the same time because I was like watching, like, oh, it's intense. But yeah, that was definitely time. And the quick kill involves exploding something near Ganon when he's up playing the organ, and the game kind of malfunctions and thinks, oh, you're dead. And it just skips it. You go straight to the you win screen. It's so good.
All right, so thank you so much, Valuethon, for having us here. Crypto the Necrodancer and Cadence of Hyrule, really awesome community. You should definitely pick up the game if you can, and I highly recommend getting into runs of it. Super fun.
Yeah, shout out to the Condor League community. If you guys go to condorleague.tv, I believe, you can see a lot more info about the game and the Racing League, which is also pretty extensive, big community. A lot of really awesome people like MooMooAkai here. And I want to thank MooMooAkai for doing the run. So thank you guys for having us.
Thank you for joining me, Swagga.
Hey, thank you.